just about ready to start. How am I gonna mount this mic? Okay, welcome everybody to one of my first drawing streams. On this one, I'm going to be showing a quick demonstration on how to draw croquis. And on this episode, it's just going to be female croquis. So without any further ado, let's just get into it, right? To begin with, you're just going to have to draw your guidelines. And I'd like to begin by just drawing a straight line. And we're going to be drawing both the front and the back today. Just going to draw a straight line to mark the bottom of the where the bottom of the feet are going to be. This is the ground. And you're just going to draw a 14.5 centimeter line going up like this. It's going to stop here. Boom. And this is where the top of the head is going to be. And you're just going to mark out 1.5 centimeter wide lines. This is a 9 head croquis, if I forgot to mention. So I'm just gonna come here and measure 1.5 inches up, 1.5 inches up, boom, 1.5 inches up, boom, wait, boom. I'm trying not to mark here because obviously you start here. And I'm just gonna go, and you're supposed to make 10 marks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1.5, 10. Okay, so we can erase this part. Wait. Can erase this part. And this is where the top of the head is going to be. And you're just going to mark lines coming perpendicularly to this. So parallel to this. And I'm just going to go in because I want to draw a front and a back. So I'm just going to draw lines that are going to go across. And I think I'm going to use this. I like using this because this has a 90-degree angle here, so that your lines aren't gonna be angled weirdly. So I'm just gonna come in and just draw, you know. I'm hoping that this is what this works, because you don't want lines that are just not parallel and perpendicular. You know what I mean? Let us go. Okay. Last one. Boom. Right. And Oh man, I'm sweaty. My arm, my hands are sweaty. There's vomit on my sweater already. Okay. Oh, oh. Okay. Ignore that. And we're just gonna continue these lines through this side. So on this episode, I'm just gonna be drawing them like straight on, and they're standing straight. And in a later video or in a later live, I'm gonna draw ones where it's like a nice little pose, you know. So now I'm just gonna label these lines. This is gonna be one. This is two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So nine heads. And I think they're called nine heads because this is gonna be one head, and you're gonna be measuring them down by the heads. And like I said, to I like to label these so that I know what's what and where goes what goes where. So here obviously is where your head is gonna be. I'm just gonna use this marker, and you can kind of zoom in a little bit more. Boom. So here we'll have our head, right? It's gonna start here and end here, and then halfway down to right, we're gonna have the shoulder, and at number three, we're gonna have the waist. I'm realizing maybe my naming convention or whatever is not very effective. For four, that's gonna be where your crotch is gonna be. Five is gonna be where your hands go, the end of your hands anyway. Six is gonna be your knees. And eight is gonna be where your ankles are gonna go. Cool, done. And somewhere here above four is gonna be the widest part of your hips. So I'm just gonna write hips here. Perhaps you can kind of name these better so that there's more space, or just move this that side. But okay, now we're gonna begin. So, like I said, here's where your head is gonna be, and I'm just gonna quickly draw a head. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so around halfway, just gonna draw a circle, then chin, something like this. This is where the eyes are gonna be. Boom, done. And your shoulders are gonna be here, so you're just gonna mark out where you want them to be. So somewhere right there, like this. And then there's gonna be like a shape like this. Kind of goes like this. And the neck. Nice thin neck. I feel like this head. Draw a thinner, more feminine looking head. Right. With a pointier thing. Boom. Okay. And then boom, boom. This is where the shoulders go. And number three is where the waist is. So the waist is going to be smaller than the shoulders. That's going to be here. Then connect these lines. Connect. This might be too big. Connect. And you have your hips here. And the widest part of your hips is going to come here. So it's probably going to be as wide as your shoulders or even wider or much or less depending, me I like, okay, let's not go there. But boom, right? Boom. Sharp. And your crotch is going to be here and you're going to have a line that kind of goes like this. You're going to leave a space and make a line that's going to go like this. And now this is what you have. So to do the legs, you're going to start by kind of roughing out where the knees are going to be. And you're just going to do that with a circle. So here is going to be first knee, the other knee. And you're going to draw a straight line coming down. Boom, boom. And then where your ankles are going to be, another circle there. So ankles are going to be here. Other one's going to be there. I'm trying to keep it symmetrical just for this tutorial, but obviously in a future one there's going to be like contrapose. That's what it's called, contrapose type cheesy. And now you're just going to connect these like so. And then connect these two. And I like to do like a this kind of shape here. This kind of shape here. And we could go even more stylized, but I'm trying to keep it kind of closer to reality. And then for the feet, I'm just gonna draw almost a triangular shape. I'm guessing she's wearing heels or something. I don't know. Right. Boom, boom. And this line is kind of going more straight, and this one is kind of going more towards that side. And then, boom. Cool. And like I said, this where your waist is also going to be where your elbow is going to be. So waist slash elbow. So the elbow is going to be here. You're going to draw a nice circle, circle, and from here to here, line, here to here, line, right? Your arm is kind of connecting to this. I'm not going to draw the anatomy, but like here's where it connects to the body, and then those shapes are going to come here. But anyway, it's going to be this. And then your wrist, like I said, is going to be slightly below number 4. So somewhere over here. So your wrist is going to be. So you can draw a circle there, a circle there. Just gonna be right below the wrist. I mean, right below the crotch. And the line. And I also like to give this line a little shape. Cool. For the hand, start like this, then boom, boom. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, Then a line here for the thumb, line here, one, two, three, one, two, three, something like this. So one, two, one, two, three, one, two. Okay. Then the ear. You can draw like a very crude face. I like to do this just to indicate one eye. Maybe we could do both. Boom. All right, cool. Collarbone, collarbone. And there you have it, right? This is your front. You could even kind of draw more um what do you call them? Guidelines. Cool. Now to draw the back. And to draw the back, you're basically gonna repeat all of this, but for the 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 back. Um and a few things are gonna be different. You're just gonna watch me draw it and kind of make sense of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna obviously begin by drawing a line for the center along this way. Make sure this is, aligning so that this can be straight. Boom. Fix your stuff. I'm gonna go and start drawing the back, and I'm just gonna draw very similar shapes. Um, I'm gonna be releasing a video on the channel where it's gonna be like a summarized version of this. Summarized version of this. Okay. Shoulders here. And you can use this method to just kind of measure here or even do this. Because since we have a line of symmetry, you can just measure from here to here, transfer it, transfer it, and check. Cool. So that's how wide the shoulders are. This is how wide the waist is. It's how wide the waist is. How wide the hips are. They're almost as wide as the shoulders. So you can just kind of transfer these. And obviously the legs and the feet. Boom. So very roughly, I'm just gonna come in and draw this, draw this, draw this. This is where the butt's gonna be. So instead of these, I mean, I guess you can still do this. And then this. Still gonna have a space here. Knees, knees, ankles. And you can tell I'm throwing very roughly because I don't wanna um I'm still kind of just doing the rough version. So okay, difference number one with the back is when it comes to the head over here, you're gonna have the neck coming in, so the chin's not gonna show, right? Obviously, the chin's gonna be that side, and here is the neck. Come in like this, still connect the same way. something like this. And a quick lesson in overlap. I don't want to get too much into this, but you'll notice that here, this line is kind of overlapping this one because the muscles are coming in from here. These muscles are on top of this one, this muscle. Here, it's going to be different where this is going to be in front and this is going to, you see. And these small indications kind of help a lot. Um, and then with here, I'm going to come in and draw the elbows. I think I may have made my waist too big. Make it a bit smaller. Done. And then this is gonna stay how it is. This is gonna come kind of like the more straight. So I'm just gonna tweak this and make it straight. But the width is gonna be the same. Tweak this, make it straight. Still keeping that same width though of this elbow. I mean knee. Sorry. Boom. Coming in. Boom. Coming in. So essentially the silhouette stays the same, but some of the details are going to be different. So for example, obviously here's going to be the buttocks. So you can just draw this shape. And then for the back, does it look like this? I don't know. We don't have to draw the muscles. And then we can still kind of, because here this suggests that the arms are behind, but we can still suggest that the arms are in front for this one. I don't know if I'm making sense. If it kind of feels like the arms are, that side. I don't know if I'm making sense. Elbows just below here, just below here. Boom, 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 boom. Hands, okay. So same silhouette. One, two, three. One, two, three. Three, sorry. But it's gonna be different. One, two, three. One, two, three. So from the back, we're gonna see this like part of the hand from the back, and it's just gonna kind of overlap everything, and then the pinky's gonna be short and everything else is gonna come, and then this is gonna come behind that. It's gonna come behind that. Pinky's gonna be short, then everything else is gonna be, I don't know if I'm making sense. Something like that. You don't need the details, right? You just kind of need, um yeah. This should have been just pulled in a little bit so that we have this shape that's like, you see. Here it kind of feels just straight, which I don't really like. Um, and then for the back, I'm just gonna draw it the same silhouette, same silhouette. Um, the second drawing should like look better, but for some reason mine doesn't. But also, reference is your best friend, right? So I'm looking at, yeah, it's pretty much the same, guys. It's pretty much the same. And here we have the shoulder blades kind of going out like this. Boom. Cool, great. And there we have it. Literally, that's your back. This is the front. This is the back. Simple as that. Um, and if you want to like have the hand kind of rotate like this way, right? I'm just gonna very lightly erase this one. Very lightly. Very, very, very lightly. So I can still kind of see that one. When you're rotating your arm, obviously there's a pivot, right? So it's gonna follow like a curve, like so, right? So let's say you want her to have her hand on her hip or something. Then this is gonna come all the way over here. Maybe even further than that, actually. Let's put it further, just a little bit further. Same width, and then boom, boom, then boom, boom. Then the hands is gonna come in like this. And boom, there you go. You have a hand on a hip. My drawing's not the best, right? But it gets the idea across. And there you have it. Your front and your back. And just as a very quick bonus, I'm not going to get into the drawing very much, but I'm just going to show you very quickly how I would go about um, drawing one that's posed. And I will just go like this, and then from here to here, something like this. So for the shoulder, this is where the shoulder is going to be. I'm just going to tilt it. I'm going to tilt it this way. And then the hip is going to be tilted. This is where the crotch is going to be. This is where your hip line is going to be. It's going to be tilted this way. So it's almost like this one's going up towards there. This one's going down towards there. And then the waist is going to be roughly straight. And then just going to measure the shoulder and transfer that measurement. Boom. Transfer the measurement of the waist. Transfer the measurement of the hips. Somewhere here. Can get rid of these arrows. And this is gonna come in like this. This is gonna go out like this. Right? We're drawing the front, guys. I have to remind myself of that. Um, and this is kind of tilted, so it's gonna be like this. And you can even draw. Okay, I'm just gonna do something very fancy here. I'm gonna draw the head looking sideways. And to do that, I'm gonna start with the neck. Start with the neck, and then draw the head looking that way. And it's gonna go in, boom. We're gonna have this shape going on, and this going on. So it's almost like that same dome shape, and then okay. Maybe I can do another video kind of talking more about heads. Pause. This may have gone a little too high, but it's okay. happy accidents. And then boom, boom. What are the hands gonna be doing? Since this is kind of following this, hands gonna be here and up here. So we know the measurement from here to here is this. So from here to somewhere over here. And then this arm can also just come this way. Since this is lower than where it's supposed to be, I'm just going to use this to measure. Boom. Um, let's pause for a second. I just want to respond to a message. Cool. Right. Same situations. And then for this leg, this one I think I'm going to keep it straight. And this one I'm going to make it go this way. Or should it be the other way around? No. This one's going to be straight. So straight down. Knee here. Ankle here. This one is lower, but for some reason, I don't know why. This is one of God's magic tricks, I guess. The knee's gonna be around the same place. And this is gonna be there also. I really don't know why. This is something that I've just noticed, and I don't know how it does that. I really don't know. This is gonna be there, and this is gonna be there. Then you're just gonna boom. Shoot, it doesn't make sense if it goes up. So it can go kind of straight. And then this way, this way, this way, up, 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 like this. Now I can kind of draw more confident lines, right? I can kind of draw more confident lines. Um, this hand can be kind of just like be doing this, something like this. Thumb there. And then this leg, obviously down, 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 down. Um, I don't know how this is supposed to look, something like that. And there we have it, right? Boom. And this is the eye line. So this is where the ear is gonna be. And there we go. There we go. And you can kind of just give this a little bit more shape. And there you have it. You have your straight on pose, simple and plain, your back, and your more like posy, posed up one. And some people like to do like center lines. You can draw your center lines. Go lines coming from here to the waist, then from here to that part. Boom, boom, boom. We have that. Kind of drawing your center lines. Similarly for the back, we have this, we have this coming in from here, from here. And you're just following the curves of the body, right? Something like this. Maybe she's wearing heels. And we can't see this from the front, obviously. And for this one, obviously the shape of the chest is going to be influenced, and this center line is going to be a little bit that way. Oops. So this leg is facing more that way. I'm so sorry that my spacing is just all over the place. I'm only noticing now how effed up it is. And the other eye, side view eye, done. There you have it, yo. I am going to make a shorter video. I hope that you enjoyed watching and that you learned something. And if so, you can click that subscribe button and like the video, share it to somebody who you think it might be helpful to. And until next time, peace. Just getting some close ups.